What's up, party people? It's Wednesday night. Ooh. So I hope everybody's doing okay. You know the drill. It's another episode of Ask Away with Jay. So I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Give me a moment to pull all this stuff up, and then we will get rocking. So I hope you have enjoyed your week up to this point. I don't think I really need this one too, but we're going to do it just in case. And I want to give a couple shout outs for B2 Fish, Electric Water, Parrot 17, Michael Smith. What up, what up, what up? Granley Rodriguez, what is going on? Folks, I want to give a shout out to each and every person that is going through some adversity in the Houston area. So when people say Houston, they don't just directly mean Houston. Houston could encompass 90 miles. So from Sugar Land to Katy, there's a ton of places that surround Texas. It's the same thing we talk about in Oklahoma, where we call it the Metro. Well, the Metro is more than just one city within that area. So I want to give a shout out to those that are going through it. Remember, there are people that are here for you. I promise you, there are people thinking about you daily. And yes, there's things that are happening all around the world, but we are a place that helps everyone. The United States is a place that helps everyone, and we do a great job of helping ourselves, even through the issues that we have on our own soil. So I'd like to give a shout out to those Houstonians, and remember, July 2018, the ACA will be in Houston. So what bittersweet thing is it going to be when the ACA shows up July 2018 to have this awesome Cichlid Association conference? It's going to be awesome. July 4th through the 8th in Houston. Quick check-in. Sorry, at work tonight. I'll catch the replay later. Corey Hecker from Lowe's. Thanks, my friend. Thanks for popping in. Love this shirt. Thank you very much. As always, I've got the Aquatic Lounge Cup. We're rocking the Crown Royal. Crown Royal was actually donated by somebody that has kind of paid attention to what I do for the last few years. So shout out to Max. He came down to Universal Rocks, checked out the stuff we had going on there, and brought a bottle of Crown Royal to just welcome me to Texas. That's awesome. Today I went to lunch with another fellow fish keeper so we could talk about fish. Folks, that is awesome. To be able to impact or to hang out with like-minded other people is simply phenomenal. So, hey Jay, thanks for the tip on the North Fin Down Under. How now we got Krill Gold for my discus, and they have gone gangbusters over it. Also thought they would go all out in Houston. Sad situation. It is a sad situation, but it's a situation of understanding, learning. Granley Rodriguez, what do you think of Live Fish Direct? Never ordered from them. I haven't heard, I've heard fantastic stories. I've heard unfantastic stories. I'm not a Live Fish Direct person. If I'm going to direct you in a place, it's going to be the places that I've talked about in my YouTube videos, that I've talked about recently, and that I'll always talk about. And that's people that I've physically ordered from. It's going to be Southeast Cichlids, Cunningham Cichlids, the Cichlid Shack, the Wonder of Cichlids. I've ordered from Quinn's Fins, however, the fish were much smaller. This was like way in the beginning. The fish were much smaller than what I anticipated, but they all arrived alive, so, I mean, and they were not sick or vastly different than what I ordered. Hey, y'all. Wanted to say hello at boarding my flight to head to Houston to assist my company in relief efforts. Have a good evening, and thanks for all you're doing to help with the relief. Paul Jones, thank you for doing what you do, my friend. What's going on in the Cichlid Shack? Cunningham, what's cracking? Jay, are you ever going to carry the Aquatic Lounge Cups on North Fin USA? I probably will not, Will Diaz, but I'm going to work with the gentleman from Third Eye Customs, Drew, to maybe get some in. Maybe we can do a pre-order and get a bunch of cups. So we'll talk about it in the lounge. So happy I made it. Currently planning out my 40-gallon reef. Heck yeah! Another thing before we kind of just start doing the question and answering, where's your cool bird? The cool bird is at the office right now at Universal Rocks. And the reason being is I cannot have him all the time in the house. He's going through this crazy situation in his life. So he's definitely doing better. I don't know the situation. There's talks to get him to a nice aviary, but I just don't know. I've had him for 9 years, and it's really hard to let him just go somewhere, if that makes sense. How much is a 40-gallon breeder from your local fish stores? I don't even know. Probably, if it's not on sale, what's a 40-gallon breeder? $70, $80 probably. How many haps, peacocks would you suggest for a 75-gallon? 5 gallons for each fish or so? Absolutely not. The gallon myth, whether it's 1 to 5, it depends on the fish. Haps and peacocks, I don't recommend haps for a 75-gallon period. Peacocks, most of them will do okay in there, but you're definitely going to have to stock it a little bit more. If you notice, I still got a little bit of aggression. It's not as bad as it once was. But I did want to talk about this guy right here. He was super wasted. I'm talking, people were like, he possibly has some sort of wasting disease or sunken belly. You need to treat immediately. I've done the research. I've checked out the Googles. And it's like, yeah, okay, maybe. But I don't think so. I think it was aggression. He wasn't getting enough food. Lo and behold, he is now starting to put on weight from food. I'm feeding them 2 and 4 millimeter North Fin pellets. One's jumbo and one's cichlid formula, and he is bouncing back like that. I think I talked about it 2 weeks ago, and here we are the 3rd week, and he is starting to look lush. So I've more on the up and up. But as far as peacocks, I'd probably go 15 in a 75, but that's me. What's up, shipmate? First time being able to watch live. Sydney Reynolds, what's going on, man? I'm glad you can make it. Hey Jay, have you ever had to deal with a cracked edge on a tank? Is it a big deal? It depends. It depends on if the crack is all the way through. Maybe it's just a surface chip. Regardless, I would drain it so that there's no pressure on it, and then silicone it and test it. Outside of that, if the crack is straight through the seams, you're probably just going to have to clean off all the silicone and re-silicone the tank completely. Have you ever ordered from Live Fish Direct? No, Michael Tisdale, I have not. Pet Supplies Plus is running 1 pure gallon up to 55. They are ruining the market. Even when Petco does this, they ruin the market because it's such cheap glass. They're throwaway tanks. I mean, I've purchased in the past, and you know, I get it. It's very easy to do. Ali, Joey, what's up? What up, Adam C? Let's see. Gee, what's the biggest size pellet you have at Northfin? Carnivore, which is 10 millimeter. As far as jumbo goes, it's 6 millimeter. So definitely more than the 4 millimeter, and we do not have 5. What's up, Jay? Healing up in the hospital. Denny, I believe this is Dennis Riddell. Shout out to him. I hope that you do a full recovery. I know you had a little bit of complications with some bleeding, but definitely in our thoughts, my friend. So, folks, I also want to say that Universal Rocks, yeah, okay, beat a dead horse, whatever. Universal Rocks is doing a donation. It's on their website at universalrocks.com, or you can just immediately donate via PayPal, info@universalrocks.com. The neat part is all of the proceeds are going to go back to Harvey Relief, whether it's a food bank or we're going to donate to the Red Cross. It's going to be what needs it most, and we're going to kind of assess that situation when it ends on September 6th. We'll announce on September 9th who the winner is. It's a $5 donation. Friends and family, if you do it via just regular PayPal, but if you click the donate button on the website, it's automatic, and you can buy as many raffle tickets as you want. And you're going to win a 71-inch by 23-inch crevice brown background with 6 individual rocks as a prize. It doesn't get much better than that. My personal goal, and the goal, Universal Rocks had a loftier goal, but my personal goal was $1,000, and I will tell people when we reach that if we reach it before we end, but I would still like to push further. Universal Rocks' goal is $2,000 so that we can send a substantial amount of money to feed quite a few people. So, yo, Jay, how many peacocks and haps would you recommend for a 110? Haps, it just depends on the length of the 110. Peacocks and haps in a 110, probably about, if you're adding haps, probably 20. Flow rate for a torch coral, have no idea, I don't do salt water, so somebody that does salt, please chime in. But it's hard for me to fathom what the people are going through, and I just hope we can help them in a great way. So, folks, ask your crazy questions. I'm going to talk about some things in the 500-gallon, the Aawj Nature tank, and kind of where I'm at with this stuff. So, the 500-gallon, the Exochromis Genius is starting to color up even more. We're starting to see the blue in the face, which is phenomenal. Ruben Rivera, what's up, my friend? And then we're going to be adding some more fish. So Southeast Cichlids pre-order just came out. We're going to pick up some fish. I'm really excited. Jay, where can I order some quality rainbow fish? I believe Imperial Tropicals has rainbow fish. So that's kind of where I'm at with the 500. It's looking phenomenal. The fish are doing well. And I actually enjoy watching less fish in a bigger tank than I enjoy watching a smaller tank with more fish. It just seems more peaceful to me. I don't see the aggression, although that could change at a dime. But they get to do their natural tendencies that they would do in a lake in a much larger tank than that of my last 220. So, here we go. Aquarium Co-op said that they were not happy with their Universal Rock shipment, but they didn't elaborate. Any clue why? That's something you're going to have to take up with Aquarium Co-op. I believe it was something that it took longer than what he anticipated, and that it didn't unfold properly, and that it was too dirty. So it's just like I've done a video before on it. You can unravel it very well, especially when it spends a lot of time in a box. So, for instance, if you ordered right now and we had it on the shelf, which we typically don't, we put it in the box, it would take, you know, anywhere from 2 to 3 days to make and then 3 to 4 days to get to you. So we put it in a box, I believe, for 8 or 9 days and then left it out in the sun. Granted, we have the benefit of the Texas sun, and then unraveled it in 1 hour and 30 minutes. So when somebody says that it doesn't unravel, it's very hard to understand, and it could have possibly been the region of where he lives. And so we recommend using a heat gun, blow dryer, things like that, but you have to let it lay out. And I think it was more of a timing thing, although I'm not too sure because I don't believe that I was working there at the time. I'd have to look back at it, and that's private business for him, and that's not something I'm going to do. But I did see part of the video, and I believe that that was his issues. Although I still think it's in the tank, so I'm not sure if there was anything wrong with it, etc. Jay, where can I order? Good, already answered that. Hey Jay, there's a dragon blood in your tank. One is red and one is not that red. What's the difference? So there's no 2 dragon bloods. There's one, which is this dragon blood here, and then this guy is an albino eureka. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but man, this fade is on point. Hold on. I can see it delayed. My man, he killed it today. So I'm doing great, Ruben. Thank you very much. Got my Tisk for Texas. God bless them. Absolutely done great. Check out Imperial Tropicals. Where can I order fish that are delivered to my house? I don't have to pick up the airport. Granley Rodriguez. There's not too many big-time places that are going to deliver to your door. If I'm ordering fish, I don't want them delivered to my door. And there's a reason. They don't necessarily arrive properly. There's no insurance on USPS, and FedEx is astronomical in the price that they charge for overnight. So Southwest Cargo, Delta Cargo, hands down the best way to ship fish. But I believe Imperial Tropicals will ship USPS for you. Safest way to move my fish to a bigger tank. Make sure the tank is cycled, and make sure you get a good net and you catch the fish properly, and just transfer them one at a time. But if you have to break it down and do that whole thing, you got to get totes. You got to make sure you got sponge filters, aeration, and seated filters to go in that tote or tub, whatever it is, and then get the other tank set up, let it cycle, etc. Geronimo, what's up, my man? Bebop and Rocksteady on that shirt. I don't know, are they? Nah, I can't. I don't pick who goes on the shirt. Any more conventions? Hey, Kyle, is this Kyle W, Kyle's Fish Room? Will you or have you ever done reptiles? Yes, I have done reptiles before. I have kept chameleons. I have kept anoles. I have kept leopard geckos. I'm trying to think if I kept anything else. I kept turtles before, which would be amphibious. So, but I've also kept. I never kept a tortoise. So, yes, I kept some reptiles and amphibians, salamanders, things like that. Hey Jay, do you know if they have any 48 by 24 crevice at Universal Rocks? Yeah, we have them on the website, and we have them. You know, I believe there's. I forgot the price on a 48 by 24, but you just got to put it right into the custom side, and it'll give you the exact price. Let's see what else. Still looks dope in their huge tank. Talk about the 500. I just did. The 500 though is quickly becoming my favorite tank. I'm still in the plans for the 14-foot tank. Whenever I find a new house and whenever I sell my house, but it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what I want to do. But I do want to do a huge kind of biotope in a sense where I have multiple fish living at multiple levels, and I think I can achieve that. Will you sell media on your site, and if not, where do you recommend buy some? If you're talking about media, I do sell media. I sell Purigen, Fosguard, I sell ChemiPure Blue, so ChemiPure Elite. Not sure what you're looking for in general. Also, there's a code NFUSA10, which gets you 10% off of Pinky's filters. Kyle Daniels. Dude, you should know the OCA is coming up. The aquatic experience is coming up. The ACA will be at the aquatic experience, which is going to be pretty cool. Cichlid Fest coming up in October for Nika. Yeah, Nika's got, is it Nika? Nika better watch out, because that's how you spell NECA, and that's a very trademarked brand of comic heroes. But anyways, regardless of that, they're doing their first big event. You know, they're following in the likes of the Ohio Cichlid Association, the American Cichlid Association. They've got the big stuff like the Keystone Clash. I mean, they have all these cool things that I have to miss out on. But yes, definitely Cichlid Fest in October for the New England Cichlid Association. It'll be their first one, so if you can show some love, show some love. Later, dudes. I mean, like a 48 by 24 background that I can come pick up in the store instead of order. No, we typically don't keep anything on the shelves. We have Rockies on the shelves just because they lay pretty flat for us. But I don't know if we have any 48 24s. But if you called, you know, 2 days ahead of time or a day ahead of time, that's something that we can make and have ready for you when you come in the store. That's awesome. I have a chameleon, bearded dragon, Chinese water dragon, Savannah monitor, corn snake, and 17 leopard geckos. Just got into the aquarium hobby, so trying to sell the geckos to fund it. I really like leopard geckos. Oh dear and pubs, message me on my Facebook page, because I don't really check YouTube messengers. That would be awesome. Let's see. Mr. Wilson, this is George with the obvious overstock 55 with all those goldfish. They're gone. I'm going to convict cichlids to replace. Any suggestions on the setup? Nope. Just get them in the tank and watch them breed. Convict cichlids are very easily maintained. Jonathan Straczynski, I doubt he'll ever watch this, but if he does, he's a punk because he keeps them. They'll breed. Just get them into a decent setup with some good flow and filtration. EvaBug1, thank you so much. I was asking if you were going to the Oceanic Aquatic Experience. So the plan is definitely to be at the Aquatic Experience. The plan is definitely to be at the Ohio Cichlid Association Extravaganza. However, life may get in the way. I don't know. I'm not saying 100%. My plan is to be at both of these locations. But I am going to be in the process of selling my house, purchasing another house, and the logistics of moving my son, my wife, in the least stressful way, in the most stressful process. So, yes, I want to be there. I am ready. I've got to book OCA hotels and the Aquatic Experience hotels, but I hope to be there. Jay, there is a silverfish with 2 or 3 black dots. I think I heard you say something about a torpedo. This guy, this is a blue torpedo. He's a hat. This is very. Not a lot of people have them. I guess they take a while to grow. They're not a predator or anything, but if you look them up, just type in blue torpedo hat. Pretty cool fish. What do you use in your filters? ChemiPure Blue or Elite, and what's the difference? So ChemiPure Elite has that carbon with their kind of. It's a super enhanced charcoal in a sense. ChemiPure Blue is that with the added effects of a Purigen-like substance. I actually run both, one in each filter. So I'll stack one with Elite and stack one with Blue, and it seems to work out very well for me. I'll make a Facebook right now just to message you. What's your Facebook? It's Jason Wilson now, so Jason space Wilson. It's an emoji of me doing that, or a Bitmoji, or whatever they're called. Convicts breed in a bag. They might breed in a bucket. Matt Webster, what's going on, man? Hope you're still making that good recovery. Can you keep Central South Americans with Africans? You can. I don't recommend it. There's too many different requirements. You know, it's the same thing. You can do as you please. It's your money. It's your tank. It's your hobby. You have to own it. But the problem is you cannot do this and then wonder why there are so many problems down the road. You may be one of the lucky winners. You may go, haven't had such an issue, okay? Don't know why anybody talks about it. And I say, well, yo, you know what I'm saying? This went down in my tank. I had me a little Feste, some convicts. I had me some Leoneprologus, and then I threw in some Haplochromis, and you're chromosing the whole thing out, and you've got 4 continents in there, and nothing ever happened. But then the other person is just riddled with aggression and bloat and disease and issues and just, ugh. And it's too hard to pinpoint too many different things. So same thing I will tell people. Do what you want to do. My recommendation is don't do that. But it's not even my opinion. It's my understanding of going through this. I've mixed a ton of fish before. And I always found that it does work better when you don't. Doesn't mean that it won't work to your likings by doing it. Dan Draftcorn, what's up, my friend? Ruben Rivera, Otto Pharynx, Torpedo Blue. Can you do an Indian voice? No, man, I did that last week. I put my head in the tank last week. We're beyond all that. The OCA extravaganza is cool. If you've been to the ACA, expect something completely different. ACAs run very well. It's a phenomenal experience. You get to witness some great speakers. It's just a cool deal, just the whole thing. Now, don't get me wrong. The OCA does something very similar. But they do it on a different level. There's a lot more of this. There's just a lot more of in and out of rooms and hanging out and checking out, you know, different styles of fish people are selling out, different, you know, cultures of fish, and it's everybody there. In Ohio, Michigan, that whole area, people come down from Canada just like they did for the ACA, and it's just this swashbuckler of amazingness. So definitely a cool thing to be at. Let's see. There's really no topic tonight, Matt Benson. If you want to lead a topic, ask. We could talk about anything fish, personal, it's whatever you want. No, I had to eat real fast. I went and got an oil change for the car. So I'll give you the day. I get up, I head out to Universal Rocks, have fun there. I leave, I immediately go to get an oil change, then I go get a haircut, then I go pick up food. I hoover the food, set up, pour the drink, take the photo, sit down, start video. There's no breath. So you just added way too much Coke to that whiskey up, son. George Irwin, if you saw, it wasn't finished. So there's still some whiskey with the Coke. And that is much stronger than the first one. Whee! Have you ever grown a full beard? Actually, I haven't. I don't think I'm capable. Jay Wilson is not capable of growing a beard. I think this is about the most facial hair I've ever had. And it's not much. Being in the military, I didn't have one because you can only have the stasheroni. And not a fan of stashes. Daniel Vila says, flower horn owner, Joe Dirt. All right. Flower horn owner over here. I can't even say that. Tonight's topic, how to keep guppies with Oscars. Tonight's topic is how to keep guppies with Oscars, and I end with total destruction from the Oscars eating all of the guppies. Thank you. I'll start typing. I am having an issue. All right. Let me know what kind of issue you got. Is that how you relax to make videos? No, actually I don't. I can make videos without drinking. It started by me having a regular iced tea. Somebody said spice it up. I enjoy Crown and Coke. I don't drink very often, so I take Wednesdays and have 1 or 2 or 3, or maybe some doubles, and I sit here and have a good time with you folks, and it's cool. That's all that really matters. That's what it's all about. So, let's see. I have a bunch of hybrid Mbunas. Mother's a yellow top Mbamba. Dad's a yellow lab. They look cool, but I have like 60 of them. First time I've had holding fish, so I stripped them, etc. First batch was in October. Didn't think about what I was going to do with them. Now what? The tough part lies in it's a hybrid. A lot of people don't want hybrids, but a lot of people do love hybrids. So you have to find something that you could get them on. Let's say a Craigslist, a local Facebook group. That would help. That's about all I got for you. Maybe somebody else could help. What's going on, Antonio Urena? No beard here either. Cop can't have one. Cichlid Madman, I feel you, man. Have tried North Fin samples for my Mbuna and saw better color and longer fins within weeks. Also used the beta North Fin and fish became more active, switching from NLS. Sydney Reynolds, can't wait. NorthFinUSA.com, get after it. Oscar Smorgasbord. Folks, I don't know. I'm not going to be the one that sits in front of the camera and is like, yeah, so cool. Oscars are like really cool fish because they're orange and, you know, you get albinos and they're blacks and they're really carnivorous, right? They're really cool. And I really think you should keep Epistogrammas and some pencil fish and maybe some neon tetras because, you know, that's pretty cool. And maybe some blue flame hyper aloe torch in your salty tank would be pretty cool when you frag out, bro. And then keep some haps, you know, and some peacocks and some mbambas. Mbambas are cool, you know, maybe red devil mbamba, yellow lab mbambas. They're pretty solid fish. I can't claim any of that. I can't. Well, one, I can't. I don't know. And two, it'd be stupid for me to tell you something that was wrong. So I can talk to you about the lakes of Africa, African cichlids. And I can point you in the direction of the other stuff. And that's why I enjoy the teams that show up and are able to help other people, which is really huge. Message retracted. North Fin is better, period. Gulper cats equal no hybrids. Yes, you can get some fish that eat the fry. It's not something that's considered evil. It could be culling. It's the same thing we would do in many other breeding species. But you can use them as food when they're smaller. If you do it, I don't necessarily know. It's not fun to laugh and do it. But if you're using it, you can raise fry as feeder fish because you're doing it. And it's, you know exactly what this fish is coming from. No, not La Bamba, an Mbamba. I just put my first peacock, a red shoulder. He's a stud. Definitely can't wait to get more peacocks. Peacocks are a great fish. Beautiful colors, nice fins, highly aggressive, look great in a lot of tanks, 75 gallons or above. It's just an all-around good fish. How long do you quarantine if everyone looks good and is eating normal? 2 weeks. I quarantine for 2 weeks. Now, let me rephrase this. If I'm getting fish from somebody that I know, like I mean know, like friends, I don't necessarily quarantine them, which is not good practice. But I recommend everybody quarantine your fish. Like we brought in, I brought in some peacocks and a couple of haps, trying something out, and I've quarantined them in 255 gallons for 10 days. They were perfectly fine, so I put them where they needed to go. So send me a cup of Coke and Crown. Also, the fish survived in my stepdad's tank. Awesome. So same here, awesome results with North Fin. Fins are longer, better color. Had bloat problems before using it, but they eat like pigs. Predator haps have their issues. We'll stay on this food for sure. Awesome stuff. I'm glad to hear it, Laurel Johns. So, for instance, Josh Martinka emailed me at Universal Rocks and he had some questions about his dad's tank, who put in a brand new background. The neat part is I've installed them, I've changed them out, I can see how they're made now. I can help color them. I have the ability to help cut them. So now I have a very well-rounded base of how to help you when you get a background. That's the neat part. You don't have to wait for somebody to respond. Typically give me 24 hours of response time. Way better via email, jason@universalrocks.com. I can help you with anything. If you want a quote, you can do it on the website all by yourself and then ask questions. You can jump into custom backgrounds, type in your size that you need, always measure the internal dimensions, and then it'll tell you the price and the shipping price via the website. So after you donate, go check out backgrounds, or check out backgrounds, then donate, and just make this a cool thing. They are similar in same genius, Matt, so very possible. Do you think a yellow blaze rock would have issues with a red blaze and or orange dorsal Z-rock? Just like Josh Cunningham said, they may. I thank God every day for this fish channel. Thank you, Randall. I really appreciate that, man. What bottom feeders do you use and suggest? So, it's a very controversial question on bottom feeders. I've heard from people that bottom feeders eat turds. That is wrong. There's not a fish that will freaking swallow a turd. They may put it in their mouth and spit it back out, but Leucosimus, catfish, they don't eat poop, okay? Minus the Coke. I like Pictus catfish. I like bristlenose Plecostomus, although Stephanie Campbell will hate me. Dang it, man. That's about it. I'm not a guy that's gonna go, I'm gonna roll up to the store and be like, hey, got a 500 G over here, you know what I'm saying? I'm kicking it in my apartment, let me get some L144, L627, L187, L652, and an L121, yo. $780? Please, yo. I got them hats and peas up in there and ain't gonna do nothing. $700? Flushed. So, Petricola are good. Multicats, Josh Cunningham. Cidadonis multipunctus. Matt Webster in the clutch. Sinocats are really good. Oh, snap. So, Nyasi are good. I mean, look at these guys. This is what I'm talking about. People with knowledge dropping it for us. Thank you, Josh Cunningham. Thank you, Matt Webster. So, you got to be careful about what you put at the bottom of the tank. However, if you, just like somebody that has a planet or community tank, you need to look at maybe the diversity of bottom, middle, and top. Okay? You can't mix crazy fish together, but if you get some fish that hang out on the bottom, you may not need bottom feeders. Don't feed as much, and you won't need bottom feeders. I always find this the case. We get really excited. We get super ambitious about adding all these fish, right? So this is what happens. I'm so getting some fish. I'm going to get a banga. I'm going to get a red fish. I'm going to get a blue fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, yellow fish. And then I'm going to get some fish for the bottom because they're so cute. And then, it's going to be really cool because I'm going to try putting a betta in there, and it's going to be, so awesome. Maybe a sorority. I heard somebody say sorority online, and it's pretty cool, so I'm going to say it, okay? And then, oh, guys, I can't even feed the bottom fish. I'm dropping pellets in there, and should I get the wafers? Are the wafers going to get to the bottom of the tank? Because they need to eat. I bought these fish because I thought they would eat on the bottom, and there's nothing getting there. Stop. Think about the whole tank. Think about what you're feeding, how you're feeding, and what the other fish are in between you and the bottom of the tank. Because I promise you, if you're putting predators in, the only way you're getting food to the bottom is if you overfeed. And if you overfeed, you cause more problems than just overfeeding. You could potentially cause bloat, which causes stress, which causes impactation, which causes multiple fish to get fat and die, which causes your nitrates to rise, which causes ammonia to rise, which causes nitrite not to be able to catch up, because you may not necessarily have enough biological filtration media in there to help you do what you're doing. Stop trying to pack in as many fish as you can inside the tank because you need to see multiple colors. Whew! so sorry. Like, I just got really excited when you started talking about succulents. Crevice from a 125 might be in my future. Thinks of doing the old rescape. Thomas Medina, you know where to find me. Catch me outside now. Yeah, you can find me at Universal Rocks. Someone who doesn't watch regularly. That's the cool part. Somebody once asked me, do you care what people think about you? No. This is a public service announcement brought to you in part by Jay Wilson, where the feelings are never mutual. I just don't care. I don't care if you think I'm stupid. I don't care if you think I'm utterly distasteful. If you think I'm funny, that's great. The problem is I don't take those into consideration when I look at myself in the mirror. There's only very few people in my life that have direct impact on who I am. Now, you can affect it negatively by running your mouth or dragging my name through the mud, etc. Which, it happens, we're human. I mean, I'm not perfect, I've made mistakes, I've talked about people in confidence. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We talk, we joke and we have good times and sometimes names get brought up, but that's what happens in life, and I'll own up to it 100%. But when people go, what in the was that? That doesn't bother me. It's actually entertaining to get that reaction because you thought about it, and my mental thought process goes back to somebody like, they really are having a tough time tonight because they turned it on and they heard, oh my God, like, I really want some Nyassi. I saw them on the Googles and I'm so excited. I don't care. What matters to me is what my son thinks of me, which hopefully when he is able to talk, he is not like, are you my dad? And it's what my wife and my family think. Yeah, I respect you folks, and I respect what you do with me and for the community, but people's feelings towards me don't really affect anything. I mean, honestly. I think you're hilarious. Well, I appreciate it. In my experience, if you have an overstocked tank, the cats don't get much. Word to your mother. Gordon Brewer feels bloated. Gordon Brewer, walk into your kitchen, grab some Himalayan rock salt, crush it up into about 1/16 of a millimeter, mix it up with some saline solution, sprinkle a little bit of liqueur on that bad boy, a little bit of sugar, put it in a little bit of vial, and just, you should be cleared out in probably about 3 days. Making a stand for my 75-gallon. You think 2x6s? Yeah. Guys, I'm not a DIY guy. If I put my mind to it, I can do it, but I'm more of the guy that wants the project done. I don't like waiting on anything. I like having stuff ready to rock and roll. However, when it comes to certain things, I will wait. So I think 2x6s would be perfect. Somebody did a robot, a vomit, and a devil. I have overstocked tank, but it's to curb aggression. I have 2 giant canisters and a big sump that has tons of bio, and water changes every week, about 60%. Matt Benson, and that's awesome. Honestly, the problem is I don't want to do water changes every week. I don't want to have to run, I do run canisters like crazy on my stuff, but an overstocked tank isn't necessarily something that's curbing aggression that I have found. It helps in certain cases, but it also, here we go. I talked to Kyle Griggs today. Kyle Griggs and I have been talking on and off for probably over a year. He asked me quite a bit of questions, and the thing I told Kyle today is, pump the brakes there, kid. You're overthinking this. You're stepping over your tongue here, huh? You're falling flat on your face, you tripped over the curb, and you're too worried about doing one thing, and it's causing 5 other big issues. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Look at your tank 80% of the time, touch it 20%. Think about this. I need to keep my tank at 84 freaking degrees. Yeah, but then you worry about, I keep Bick away. But then you look and your fish are crazily over-aggressive. The metabolism's crazy. You're sprinkling a crap ton of food over there. And then what happens, huh? You got all these issues with the nitrites and the nitrates and the ammonias. And then you're going back to the same people going, help me. My cycle's all jacked up. I don't know what I did. Please help me. 911, fish 911, help me. And you're like, no, dude, because you didn't have to keep it at 84. And it goes back to about 3.5 years ago, I was in a local fish store and they told me to get rid of it, raise it to 84. So I left it at 84. Making one change is a domino effect in a fish tank. We keep water first, fish second. This glass box is it's not even 75 gallons if you measure internally. So when I look at it, if I change one thing, it could potentially spiral out of control in multiple other ways. So we always have to be ready. Always be ready. Jay Wilson is the chocolate ice cream yogurt swirl. Gotta feed the cats at night, baby. Can't please everyone. Lots of Mbuna in this tank. Not sure if you saw the comment or missed it, but I missed you. I did. Missed you. Messaged you. I seen it. KG Cichlids is in the house. The dude was just rocking. We doing some water changes, that guy? Huh? Doing some water changes. So, folks, you gotta understand. Keeping fish is not necessarily a science. Elementary, my dear Watson, elementary. It's not. I would say keeping fish, in a sense, can be an art. A very well-learned art. The problem is we do this. Okay, I'm setting up a 55 gallon. It's gonna be pretty cool. I've got 17 canisters because a guy told me on YouTube I needed 17 canisters. I'm gonna put 76 fish in there because this store told me it was a good idea. Oh, and I keep changing the scape to curb aggression. You're just messing with the tank. You're never gonna find out. You gotta have patience. Something I lack outside of the fish keeping hobby. But you have to have patience. You have to understand that it takes time to set up a tank. It takes time to get fish in. It takes time to get the things where you want them to be. And if you're changing or touching things every 6 seconds, you're going to find that you're going to drive yourself nuts. And what I mean is you're like, they keep moving the sand. Stupid fish. Don't keep fish. Fish do this in the wild. Same reason your dog digs a hole in the garden. Stupid dog. Oh, but I love you, Roger. Come here. Come here, Roger. Roger's so nice. Say hello to everybody, Roger. Roger doesn't say hello. Roger is a dog. Roger goes, ruff, ruff. That's what Roger does. Fish go. They don't talk. There's something we do as humans to keep in a glass box, which is kind of sadistic in a way, so that we can have them for our own pleasures. So, if you want to keep them in the best way, shape, or form, unlike dogs, where most dog breeds you have to constantly be training, constantly being assertive, you have to allow your fish to just fish. And if you can do that, you will become a better fish keeper for it. Your family will thank you. Your pockets will thank you. Your sanity will thank you. The time you're able to do other things will thank you. I will thank you. My angel fish are breeding. I have to remove all the others. That's a shame. It's a shame if one of them ate the babies. I don't know anything about angelfish, but Roger goes, what species of angel, KG? He keeps leopard angels. Is that even a thing? I'm finally setting up my 180 in October. Going to take a few months before I add any fish. You don't have to wait a few months. A real cycle will take a long time. If you're utilizing a product like Stability, you can add fish instantly. Yes, I've done it. I did it with the Tropheus. I've showed it. It works. It's very effective. You just have to pay attention. Don't over marbles, platinums, and black lace. Ooh, you have 50 shades of angels. I moved my fish to a 55 gallon to a 10 gallon. Didn't drain the tank for 2 days because I went away. Turns out I have hundreds of baby snails in the 10 gallon. What do you think I should do? Get the fish back in the 55? Or, I don't know what to do with snails. Not the cycle. Money is the reason. No, that's okay. I mean, folks, you don't have to have the best tank on the block. You don't have to have the fanciest cool things, you know. I noticed, you know, in the frag culture, it's like, hey, yo, brah, did you see my super cool SP79 super 24K watt actinic to the Supermax zoom light that just frags out, like, for real, dude. It's on the real how it does it, dude. I turn that light on and, like, freaking frags grew out of my elbow, bro. You guys are competing on a level that's just, like, way up here. YouTube guys, myself included, be like, oh, so cool, I've got an FX6, and it's, like, the best filter ever. Been using it for a minute now, even though it's not out. I've had it for like 6 months because I'm super cool. And yeah, so you should buy it because it's pretty wicked. And you're like, shoot, man, I need an FX6. And then I notice the guys that are keeping angelfish, and the guys that are, and the girls, and you folks are getting, you know, other things, like you're keeping just, you know, L series, you're keeping non-African cichlids or non-cichlids. Y'all don't compete. What the heck? Y'all are just like, you African cichlid boys is weird. Yeah, well, my African cichlids are super colorful. Y'all's is weird. I've got this Feste chilling in a 125 gallon, and that's the smallest tank I got. When you ready to man up and drop them African cichlins and come over to the south and central side, we'll introduce you to manhood. I mean, it's this weird dynamic. I love it. It's, you know, it's very funny to see, you know, and then you got your, like myself, I'm in Lake Tanganyika, so I perceive myself as like, I'm sorry, I really don't want to mess with Lake Malawi right now because it's kind of dirty. Tanganyikans, because I like trophies, and I really like shell dwellers, and so that's going to be the next topic. Yeah, Lake Malawi, yeah. I mean, we have this weird mentality of how we do things. Fusco is definitely in a 6-foot tank. If they're in a 10-gallon tank, you need to leave the live now and get them in another tank ASAP. I've got one Alta male is the father. Get in the chopper. I'm the Alta. Get down. So let me talk about the A-round nature. Everything is what I'm about. It's the man fish. You're not a man until you got a peacock bass and large guard that don't fit right in your tank. Nah, that's not even a thing. How is that even a thing? How are you telling me to be a man when you're like, I've got some platinum angelfish, and they're breeding, and I have to remove the rest of them? How is that, man? You can't talk about being manly. Jay, where do you get the Torpedo at? I really like him. I got him from Butch Livingston. You know, and you know what's funny? I think it's really cool, like when you meet somebody for the first time, and it's like really awkward between both of you, and they're trying to show you their fish, but they like mess up, and they're like, this is the yellow jig. It's like, you know, we're always so eager to please, you know, other people. It's like when people come over in my 220, I'm like, oh my god, I've got to make sure that it's pristine. Why? We do what we do, just continue doing it. It's just so funny. It really is funny to me. And we do it. We'll say, what do you think of my tank? It doesn't matter. You built it. You created it. You scaped it. Love it. Own it. That's who should love it. It doesn't matter if we don't like it. I mean, I see tanks that I would never scape, ever, like the way they do. But I'm not going to hate on that tank. I've seen people put flower pots in there with plants growing out of it. I've seen, you know, Halloween masks and stuff in there. That's somebody's taste. That's what they want. It's not my taste. Everybody has different styles, and that's why the fish hobby is so diverse, and it's pretty amazing, which is really cool. Manly is having sharks with laser beams on their head in your tank. Yes, Scotty. Huh? Zip it. No, Scotty. You're not a man until you bid 1 cent. Jerk. So let me talk about the shell dwellers. I still love them. However, I shouldn't say I love them. I still like them, but I'm almost in a sense bored. The tank is a beautiful tank. The original idea was a community tank. I went away from that idea to do Shelly's. Great idea. But it backfired on me because it's now in a room I don't sit much time in because of the move, and I'm losing interest in it. I still take care of it. The fish haven't died. I haven't lost one fish in there. Knock on glass. But I just don't know. I feel like breaking down the tank, making a planet tank, doing something cool like that. I want to do a nano planet tank. I want to get the Shelleys in maybe a 75, or maybe get them into a massive tank and add some more. I have no idea. But this Sunday's video, I'm going to be talking about the shell dweller tank and its update. It never ends. No, it doesn't. You're not a man if you've never owned guppies as your very first fish. My very first fish was a comet. I had that thing I think it was a comet. I had it 9 years. I've told this before. I microwaved the water without the fish in it to get it to the temperature because I had no idea what I was doing fish keeping. That was my mom's idea. Meanwhile, we're depriving this fish of oxygen. 9 years into it, I've dropped this thing 4 or 5 times on just everywhere. And putting him back in it, microwaving it, sitting him in a cup while I did changes. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Get multis in a 6-foot tank and let them colonize away. Yeah. How about we bid on Jay Fish? 2 cents. How about Michael Smith? No. So, folks, I appreciate you coming out. Share this video. It was just fun. Please go support the people of Harvey. It's going to be at universalrocks.com. You can donate there or send your bid of $5 for as many bids as you want to info@universalrocks.com via PayPal for a crevice 71 by 23, I believe. Yeah, 71 by 23 with 6 individual rocks. We want to hit over $1,000. My first was neon tetras. What a disaster. Do local fish stores take in plants? I have a ton of Java fern and Nubis, Bellahari, and some Amazon Argentine sards. Yeah, I'm sure a local fish store would, so get after it. Do you know if IFG is doing all right? Yes, IFG is doing perfectly fine. It did not hit him in the area that he lives in. His hotel is open for business. Everything is kosher. He's mentioned that a few times on Facebook, I believe, too. So, folks, again, thank you for the support. Thank you for being just who you are. Remember, it's Wednesday. You've got a few more days to make a difference this week. Go help out the people of Harvey in your own way. Go pay it forward somehow. Some way, somehow. Like today, I witnessed a man was being asked multiple questions while I was getting my haircut. And the way he delivered his response was professional. It was elegant. It was assertive. And it wasn't challenging. He wasn't argumentative. And that was a guy who had to understand. That was a man who needed to understand that he was somebody that was so impactful. But there's no way you can say thank you so much for displaying that, you know, verbal judo on how you did it. And it's regardless of the topic, so the only thing I could do is pay for his haircut. But to me, that was a symbol of, I appreciate how you handled that situation, talking to a younger man who really just wanted to know. We're missing that. Reach one, teach one, do your thing. Sienna, Brewer, what's going on? Thank you, Sean Zuniga, for what you do, my friend. Look to see if your local fish club has auctions. A lot of them will take plants. KG Cichlids, Clint Fish, Flavio Merillos, loving the TJ. Thank you, Jay. I see you have a magnet cleaner on the tank. I have wanted to get one, just scared it will scratch the tank. Don't let it scratch your tank by landing in the sand. My favorite Ninja Turtle is Leonardo, and I cannot do Trump because he's too huge. Okay? It's going to be disastrous huge. That's all I got. You know what's next. Holla! And, of course, there's going to be a delay because I have to reach and get the stupid camera.